Definition of cooking terms. 1. Al dente, to cook pasta or vegetables until firm to the bite yet tender. 2. Bake, to cook by the dry heat usually in an oven, known as roasting when applied to meats. Barbecue, to slowly cook uncovered by dry heat in a gridiron over coals under a free flame or an electric unit, usually basting with a highly seasoned sauce. 4. Bard and barde, to top or cover meat with a layer of fat like bacon or salt pork slices, usually in roasting. 5. Baste, to moisten food while cooking to enhance its flavor, prevent the drying up of its surface, and improve its appearance. The liquid used is usually melted fat, drippings, fruit, juice, or sauce, or a mixture of highly seasoned sauce. 6. Batch cook, to cook in small portions as needed for services. 7. Batter, a medium-thick mixture of food, liquid, water or milk, egg, flour, salt, seasoning, and sometimes sugar, used in making pancakes, cookies, or coating for deep-fried foods. 8. Beat, to make a fork, spoon, or whisk, or use a rotary beaten electric mixer, blender, or food processor to blend, mix, and generally incorporate air into a mixture. 9. Bind, to make a mixture of 2 or more ingredients to cohere into a homogeneous product, usually by adding a binding agent like starch or gelatin. 10. Blanch, to dip or plunge food materials into boiling water to cook 10 to 20% doneness to activate enzymes and aid in the removal of skins from nuts, fruits, and some vegetables. 11. Blend, to combine 2 or more ingredients thoroughly that they lose their separate identities. 12. Blonde sauce, a sauce made by a thickness a light stock with a roux consisting of fat and flour. 13. Boil, to cook in liquid at boiling temperature of water at sea level 212 Fahrenheit or 100 Fahrenheit, wherein bubbles rise continually and break at the surface. 14. Bone, to remove flesh or meaty portions from the bones. 15. Bouillon, a well-seasoned stock. Bouquet garni, a combination of vegetables, herbs, and spices like parsley, bay leaves, thyme, celery, onion, and other herbs finely chopped, usually tied in a small cloth, used in making light stocks. Bechetera, a combination of 3 or more vegetables served as an accompaniment of an entree. 18. Braise, to coat the food surface with bread and crumbs or with flour, egg, wash or milk, and crumbs before cooking. 19. Bread, to coat the food surface with bread, crumbs alone, or with flour, egg, wash, or milk, and crumbs before cooking. 20. Broil, to cook by the dry direct heat from above. 21. Broth, the liquid in which a food, usually meat or vegetable, has been cooked. 22. Brown sauce, one of the basic sauces made by the thickness of a brown stock with raw or cornstarch or by reducing it quickly. 22. Butter sauce, a sauce consisting of emulsified egg yolk and butter. 24. Candy, to cook a food material like fruit peel, and related food item in heavy syrup until the plump and transparent, then drained and dried. 24. Caramelize, to heat sugar until it is liquefied and eventually turns brown in color and a characteristic caramel flavor is developed. 26. Curry, a cube measuring 1/4 to 1/2 inch. 27. Chop, to cut into pieces with no specified size and shape. 28. Clarify, to clear liquid or stock of any solid particles. 29. Complement, the addition of a second ingredient or flavor that goes well with the first, wherein both are enhanced. Concasseur, to cut or into rough but even size particles in making a mirepoix, converting a adjusting the amount of ingredients in its correct proportion to produce a large or smaller quantity of the same dish. 32. Cook, to bring about a change in the food product through heat application over a period of time to make it edible and palatable. 33. Corn, submerged in brine. 34. Cream, to work on one or more ingredients to a soft, smooth, and creamy mass using a spoon mixer or any appropriate tool. 35. Cross-contamination, the spread of microorganisms from one food to another through a dirty knife, towel, counter, chopping board, dish, or hands. 36. Cube, to cut a food material into a cube shape measuring about 1/2 to 1 inch. 37. Cure, to preserve a food material by salting, picking, and drying. 38. Deep fry, to cook food submerged in hot oil. 39. Deglaze, to dissolve and loosen congelated meat juices that stick to the bottom of a frying pan or a roaster by adding water, stock, or wine. 40 degrees, to remove fat from the surface of a liquid such as in a sauce or stock by skimming, decanting, or soaking it in the paper. 41. Dehydrate, to remove moisture from a food product, generally to improve its keeping quality done by sun or air drying, heating, or salting. 42. Dice, to cut into small uniform cubes about 1/4 to 1.5 inch in size. 43. Dot, to put small pieces of butter over the food, allowing it to melt and cover its surface upon heating. 44. Dredge, to coat a sprinkle of food material lightly with a fine, dry, or powdery substance such as flour, cornmeal, and ground nuts. 45. Dripping, juices and fat extracted from fatty animal tissues and bones by heating, originally refers to the fat from roast meat or poultry with good flavor. 46. Dust, to sprinkle lightly with fine powdery substance like sugar, cocoa, flour, or ground nuts. 47. Egg wash, a combination of beaten eggs and liquid used in breeding a food material for frying or for brushing dough to produce a good color and gloss. 48. Emenser, to slice very thinly. 49. Entry, the main course or courses of dinner consisting usually of meat, game, fish, or pulses with or without accompaniments, one of the classic white or brown sauces, and garnish. 50. Entremets, originally any dish served after the main course consisting of a sweet dish such as pastry, pudding, or frozen dish. 51. Spagnole, a basic brown sauce made from a rich beef stock thickened with a raw, usually mixed with tomato puree, which serves as a mother sauce for any sauces. 52. Fine dice, to cut into 1/8 inch in size cubes, also called brunoise. 43. Fine herbs, a combination of several finely minced, mild-flavored fresh herbs for flavoring and garnishing, usually consists of equal parts of parsley, chives, chervil, and tarragon. 54. Finish cook, to cook to doneness, a partially cooked dish, usually just before serving. 55. Flake, to break or pull apart of food material like poultry, fish, or meat. 56. Flame, to avoid wine or liquor to a dish and ignite to flame. 57. Flavor, to add a product that possess distinctive taste that complements the dominating flavor of a dish without masking that flavor or losing its identity. 58. Flavor builder, an ingredient added in cooking a dish to enhance or enrich the flavor of the main ingredient. Fold, to mix a beaten ingredient lightly with another ingredient or mixture by gently cutting and turning with a spoon or spatula to prevent breakdown or release of air bubbles. Fricassee, to braise white meat or poultry, usually served with white sauce. 62. Fry, to cook in hot oil or either in shallow or deep fat or oil. 63. Garnish, To add a colorful and decorative edible accent to a finished dish entirely for eye appeal, not necessarily eaten. 64. Garniture. To add something edible to a finished dish for eye appeal, flavor, and texture which becomes a part of the dish and is eaten with it or without it. 65. Glaze. To add shine or give glossy finish to the surface of sweet and savory dishes for eye appeal and flavor. 66. Grate. To force through a grater to reduce food to finer pieces. 67. Grill. To cook food with direct heat over or under a heat source. 68. Grind. To reduce hard food materials to a fine powder like coffee and spices to mince meat. 69. Hold. To keep a partially or fully prepared food at a safe temperature for a short period of time before its intended use. 70. Julienne. A food material cut into small and very thin pieces about 1/8 by 1/8 by 1 1/2 to 2-inch sticks. 71. Knead. To work on a dough with a pressing motion accompanied by folding or stretching, which can be done manually or mechanically to develop sheets of gluten and to incorporate air. 72. Lard. To thread or insert fat through meat with a larding needle or placing slices of a fat on the surface of unlocked lean meat or fish to give flavor to prevent the drying up of the surface, keeping it succulent during roasting. 73. Metara de hot butter. A compound butter flavored with lemon juice, chopped parsley, and or other herbs. 74. Miranda. Any seasoned liquid or liquid mixture made up for the purpose of marinating to add flavor and to tenderize. 75. Marinade. To soak food or to let it stand in a high seasoned liquid to add flavor and or to tenderize the treated raw meat, poultry, or fish upon cooking. 76. Mask. To disguise or cover completely with a thick sauce or by flavoring to hide the food's true taste. 77. Match cut. To cut into a long, thin stick that measures 1/4 by 1/4 by 3 inches. 78. Medallion. A classical terminology applied to food materials cut or shaped flat and round or oval like a medallion. 79. Medium. Doneness in meat cookery having a warm pink center. 80. Medium rare. Doneness in meat cookery having a slightly warm, deep pink or pale red center. 81. Medium well. Doneness is in meat cookery having a slightly hot and slightly pink center. 82. Melt. To transform a product from a solid to a liquid by heating. 83. Mince. To cut or chop very finely. 84. Mirepoix. A mixture of rough cut vegetable and herbs, usually carrot, onion, celery, and tomato used as flavor enhanced or dark stock soup and sauces. Mise en place. The collection, weighing, and preparation of all ingredients for the soup before it is assembled and cooked. 86. Mix. To combine 2 or more ingredients so that the parts of each are evenly dispersed in the whole. 87. Mother sauce. A basic sauce from which other sauces are made like the bechamel, the bouillot, espagnole, fond tomato sauce, hollandaise, and Berns, also known as the leading sauce. 88. Nape or nappe. To coat a food item evenly with the sauce, usually a meat, poultry, or fish. Oven fry overnight. To initially brown or in a frying pan and finish cooking in an oven until cooked through. 90. Pan. To cook vegetables without liquid in tightly covered pan with a little oil or fat. 91. Pan drippings. The residue left in the pan after roasting or frying meat or vegetable, which is used as a base in cooking gravies. 92. Pan fry. To cook to doneness in a frying pan with a small amount of oil or fat over moderate heat. 3. Pantry. A kitchen station wherein cold foods that require no cooking are prepared like salad, desserts, and selected sandwiches. 94. Parboil. To broil usually grains by means of dry heat. 95. Parch. To brown, usually grains by means of dry heat. 96. Pare. To remove the outer covering of a vegetable or fruit using a knife or any appropriate utensil. 27. Partial cook or quick chill. A method, a quantity production wherein a food item is partially cooked, then quick chilled with ice and refrigerated until needed, then is finished cooking just before serving. 98. Petits fours are tiny, fancy frosted cake or small, rich cookies cut into decorative designs. Peel. To strip off the outer covering of a vegetable or fruit as in bananas or oranges. 100. Pipe. To force a semi-solid mixture through a pastry tube and lay it down on a same surface to create special designs. Plank. To bake, grill, or serve meat or fish on a well-seasoned hardwood board, usually with a groove to crush juices. Poach. To cook in a hot liquid of temperature about 160 Fahrenheit to 180 Fahrenheit, wherein bubbles are just on the bottom of the pan but undisturbed. Pot roast. To cook large cuts of meat by braising whole in a covered pot and slice for serving. Prep. A kitchen slang that means to clean fresh produce. Preparation. Prep involves all the cleaning, trimming, cutting, processing, setting up, and production done before final preparation of food for service. Prime. To polish a cooking surface at intense heat with a salt and fat or oil to overcome its being porous. Produce. Include the fruits and vegetables as they come from market. Pure. To mash or process a cooked food item to a fine pulp by forcing it through a sieve or processing it in a blender. Coarse. To press fruit or vegetables through a fine sieve or masher. Quick chill. To lower the temperature of a newly cooked food item to below 40° Fahrenheit within 2 minutes. Reconstitute. To restore food products to the normal state by adding liquid or heating a frozen or refrigerated sauce. Red sauce. A sauce made by thickening brown stock with raw and tomato puree. Serve hot. A cocktail sauce consisting of a mixture of catsup, chili sauce, horseradish, and other flavoring. Serve cold. Reduce. To boil or simmer a liquid until it becomes lesser in volume by evaporating to have a greater concentration of flavor or make it thicker with starch. Render. To release fat from connective tissues by heating at low temperature. Rest. To let stand to allow the meat juices for a roast to settle into the flesh. Roast. To cook by dry heat, usually in an enclosed unit such as oven or barbecue pit or on revolving spit before the open flame. Roll. To pass food material through a fine or powdery substance coat. Raw. A thickening agent made of combination of fat and flour, cooked together of varying degrees of color. White raw. Cook until thick and foamy. Blonde raw. Cook until color is blonde. Brown raw. Cook until it looks brown and nutty flavor is developed. Sashi bag. Herbs and spices are tied in a pieces of cheesecloth and added to the cooking pot to flavor stocks, soups, sauces, and stew. Sanitize. To wash surface and utensils with a germicide to free it from bacteria. Sauce refers to thickened sauce seasoned liquid to enhance the appearance and flavor of a dish. Basic sauce. Sauces not seasoned used to make finished sauces. Finished sauce refers to the sauce ready for serving, may be seasoned basic sauce. Sauté. To cook by flipping quickly in a small amount of fat, considered to be a partial cooking process. Score. To mark the surface usually of a meat or fish with shallow cuts to prevent edges from curling during cooking. Sear. To brown the meat surface by exposing it to the steam Heat in a pan or oven before cooking at a lower temp. Preparation. Season to heighten or balance a food's own flavor by adding seasonings. Shred to cut or tear in fine strips or pieces. Shock to remove of the outer covering such as shells from oyster or corn husks. Simmer to cook in a liquid just below boiling point wherein the liquid has bubbles floating up slowly from the bottom and the surface appears fairly undisturbed. Skim to remove froth of floating layer from milk, sauce, or soups using a skimmer. Slice to cut across the grain into even slices about 1/8 to 3/8 inch thick. Silver to cut into long, thin strips with a knife on a cutting board usually applied to almonds and piment for garnishing. Slurry, a flour-water mixture and used in thickening sauces also called whitewash. Small sauces, a small sauce derived from other sauce with the addition of flavoring and seasoning considered a secondary sauce. Smoke point, the temperature of which fat smoke due to the breakdown of its chemical structure rendering it unsuitable for cooking. Smoother, to disguise, mask, or cover. Survey refers to a light course separating two heavy courses. Stage recook, to cook in small batches as needed to service. Steam, to cook in a steam with or without pressure on a rack over boiling water in a cabinet type cook under pressure. Steep, to let stand the substance in liquid below boiling point to extract flavor or color. Stew, to cook slowly in a liquid for a long period of time until the food item is tender. Stir, to mix ingredients using a circulation motion to obtain a uniform consistency. Stir fry, a method of quick frying with frequent churning of ingredients in a small amount of fat. Stock, a flavored liquid used in making sauce, soup, and sauce-based entries. Strain, to separate lumps and particles from liquid by passing it through a fine mesh of metal, cloth, or plastic. Sweat, to follow to soften oven low heat to permit juices to come out. Toss, to tumble and lift ingredients lightly, usually using two forks or fork and a spoon. Thrust, to tie meat or poultry to be roasted using a strip, pins, or skewers to keep it sharp during cooking and for even doneness. Well done. Well doneness in cooking meat wherein it is fully cooked, having a hot moist center with no remaining pink color. Whip, to beat in a rapid motion to incorporate air causing expansion. White sauce, a sauce made by thickening a light stock or milk with flour buttered mixture. Whitewash, same as slurry. Yellow sauce, a butter made by emulsifying melted or liquid butter and egg yolks.